Hey everybody, welcome back to Freightliner here at MATS 2015. I'm Rutledge Wood, one of the hosts of Top Gear on the History Channel, plus you see me on NBC Sports for the NASCAR coverage. I'm here with my friend Georgiana Alamagni. You worked heavily on the engineering side of this project, working on the Freightliner Super truck, really on aerodynamics on the exterior, and really trying to get as many advantages on the aero side as you can, because when you're aiming to make something like this, and you come up with a 12.2 mile per gallon out of something like this amazing 5-year project. When you guys first started this, where do you really look on paper to start and say, all right, aerodynamics are going to be hugely important to us? Where do you begin a project like that?
Yeah, it was quite difficult because it was a large task to take over when we were giving a clean blank slate. So it was like, sky's the limit.
Sure.
So at first we started out with doing a really generic shape, like a bullet shape. And then from there we started refining and getting an understanding of areas that are of importance. So we started with some 1/8 scale testing in a wind tunnel. And we started refining that, and slowly as the project progressed, we got some details of, you know, we need a radiator, we need to cool this truck. So we started making areas for that and to be able to add on actual truck components so we can actually drive this thing.
And when you look at the truck, you can see just how sleek it is, you know, without being in a wind tunnel. But there were
a lot of long days. Usually 12-hour days, but a lot of times a lot more than that in the wind tunnel.
I bet. And that's where, you know, we see right now, like the grill opening is closed, because normally what happens is as the truck reaches a certain heat and you need to cool it off more, those grill openings would open up more. But there's so many different areas you can see where air really flows through the Super truck. So how were some of those, you know, really found and realized how beneficial they could be?
Yeah, well, one of the things was that there's some areas that really need ram air. So we separated the radiator and put those on the side air intakes here. Now, those are getting really good ram air, but then we need to exhaust that heat out.
Sure.
So when you come down here, you see that we are actually exhausting the warm air in front of the tire. Now, we also don't want to stack heat under there. So what we did aerodynamically was created these ducts here in the chassis fairing to try to exhaust that air out of there. And we were able to achieve that by being drag neutral.
Sure, because that's really the goal for so many things. So when you look at something like the glass and how it's all angled, or something like the mirrors, I mean, you really have to keep that in mind in the shape of everything, so that you don't essentially just put what would be essentially a sail just catching the wind on the side, right?
Right. The mirrors is actually one of the biggest headaches, because it's just something just sticking out there. Because we needed to stay legal, we needed to maintain legal requirements. We took this design and we actually took it to CFD and to the computer analysis, and they actually effectively took a block, and it's like taking a sandblaster to it to be able to get the ideal shape of what the air wants it to do.
Oh, no way. Isn't that cool? And of course, camera's still in here, because really we're at a point where the camera technology is so good you almost don't need these, but still, since it's required, those are the kind of things you have to think about when building a truck like this. But as we keep going down the truck, the aero really doesn't stop at any point. Where you guys thought about it, how it would mate up with the trailer, right?
Yeah, we definitely try to keep it as smooth as possible and try to minimize as many gaps and any leaks that would go in there. We kept going down, and then we have these really long side extenders, and we have a very short gap to the trailer.
Sure.
And because of that, sometimes on the other side, we need to fill up your fuel. So one neat thing that they did was actually made these fold in, so that way we can get good access. So we maintained our aero, and we still have access to the important parts of the truck.
Sure. And let's talk about for the drag wheel covers back here. How does this fairing work?
So the main thing is we want to keep the air flowing smoothly along the side. So now we're coming up to the trailer, and we want to continue that. Now the trailer has some trailer skirts coming down.
Sure.
So to be able to continue that, we need to cover up these tires, because these actually create a lot of drag here because of so much movement. So with having this down, we actually just smooth this out with the trailer. So the side extenders with the dry wheel fairings, it really makes a smooth transition to the trailer and to get the maximum aero benefit.
There's so many cool parts about this Super truck. All of our engineers are here. You can come by, meet them. Georgiana, all of her other co-workers that are here that worked on the truck. They'll answer your questions if you've got one. Thanks for spending a little time with us talking about the aerodynamics. 12.2 miles per gallon on this amazing project. We've also got our big drawing coming up at 5:30. Make sure you're registered, do the quizzes. We've got iPads, Yeti coolers, all sorts of great Freightliner gear we're giving away. You got to be present. That's at 5:30, so make sure you sign up, do the quiz. Georgiana, thanks again. We got lots more with the Super Truck and lots more here at Freightliner coming up.